ready? Everybody set up? Good morning. I'm Sergeant Charlie Eiper of the Wichita Falls Police Department. We want to thank you for being here. We wanted to bring you here to do this press conference in order to share with you the success of the investigation of this theft of the Lauren Landavazo Memorial Horse. We're very excited where we're at right now, and what we've done is we've brought some folks to talk with you and answer any questions, to share where we're at in the case. We have our Wichita Falls Police Department Chief Manuel Borrego here. Also our Sergeant over our Crimes Against Property, Sergeant John Spraggins. We have John Gillespie, who's the Wichita County District Attorney, who is here as well. And I would also like to welcome Lauren's parents, Vern and Bianca Landavazo. They're here as well for support. And so what we'll do is we'll have the chief come up first and answer any questions after he shares his thoughts over the investigation here. Okay, Chief.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, I just want to talk briefly about when this started back in October, when the memorial horse was damaged and stolen. Since then, the investigation's been going. The detectives have really worked a lot of hours on trying to get this case resolved, and with Crime Stoppers, and I think we have got it with accumulation of. I think we have warrants out for the arrest of 4 individuals that were involved in the case. One of the things that we did note was these individuals claiming that they didn't really understand what the memorial meant. They were just out when that occurred. That still doesn't lessen the pain for the Landavazo and the Smith family that this had occurred. So we're very happy that this thing is coming to a conclusion, and that we can get the horse reinstated back at the memorial that it came from, and the families can again continue healing and moving on. So thank you. And I'll turn this over to Sergeant John Spraggins.
Good morning. I'm Sergeant John Spraggins. I'm over the Property Crimes Unit. During the course of this investigation, there were several detectives assigned to it. Our lead detective, Detective Finnegan, worked through all the leads on this case. There was some video that we started off with, and basically was spending every day, multiple hours a day working on this case. As we worked through the leads, we had some tips coming in that we worked through all those tips, and we're kind of at a standstill at one point when the Crime Stopper tip came in that led us in the right direction. Through his investigation, he was able to determine that who the suspects were and get statements from each one of these and confessions from each one of these suspects that was consistent with the evidence that we had, as well as recovering the memorial horse. Of course, it was destroyed, but we did recover it. I'm open to any questions that y'all have for me. Yeah. So, of the 4 suspects, Dakota James, date of birth 7/23/02. Zachary Kaiser, it's Kaiser, 8/16/02. He's in custody, or has been arrested on the warrant. Tyler Darlin, 4/29/02, also has been arrested on his warrant. And Braden Seward, Seward, 12/17/97. So there's 2 outstanding warrants that still have not, 2 suspects that haven't been arrested, but 2 have been arrested. I want to say also that, during this investigation, there was other agencies that, we worked with and cooperated with us. Bowie PD was significant. Some of these suspects lived out of town, and the chief over there in Bowie He and I have been friends for a long time, and he was great to work with and help us. The two suspects that were arrested in Bowie and taken to Monte County Jail over there. So.
That's where they currently are now, is in Monte County.
I'm not sure if they bonded out yet. I haven't talked to the jail yet, but I know they were arrested.
And what charges are all four facing?
It's theft, over $2,500, under $30,000. It's a state jail felony.
They said that these kids didn't really know the significance behind the horse. Did they show any remorse at all for this?
I think during the interview, once they understood what the significance of the horse was, they had a better understanding. I think I can't speak to what they were feeling, but I think that they understand now that it was something that really affected the community, and I'm sure over time they'll probably have some remorse about their actions and what it's done to the community.
This started quite a large Crime Stoppers tip and movement, and a lot of agents coming in donating money for this. Was this one specific tip that led to it? Was it a group of people? Where is it with as far as that Crime Stoppers work?
Well, as far as the one, there were several tips that came in. We investigated all the tips that came in. Some of them led us to dead ends, and some of them, obviously the last one is where it led us to the suspects. So the Crime Stoppers played a huge role in this, and it's I like to call it a perfect scenario, how Crime Stoppers and citizens working together to help us solve these crimes, because without the Crime Stoppers tip, I don't know that if we would have solved it. It's a significant thing, getting that information.
The two of the suspects are arrested in Bowie. The two that aren't in custody, where are they from, and why haven't they been placed in custody or arrested?
Well, they have warrants that we've issued. So,
In Wichita County?
well, the warrant was issued out of Wichita County, but the warrant is good anywhere. So as soon as we find them again, then they'll be taken into custody, or if sometimes they turn themselves in. So
Do you suspect them to be in this area or from Bowie?
they have addresses that are, some of them are local and some of them are out of town.
Have they said why they did this?
I don't want to go into any particulars right now and affect the integrity of that part of the case, because we still have to look at the prosecution part of it. So I don't want to go into that information.
We have John Gillespie come up with the Wichita Falls County District Attorney's Office.
Thank you. I just want to say a few brief words. First off, we take this case very, very seriously because of the impact that it's had on the land of Azos and in our community. I applaud the work of the Wichita Falls Police Department. They've briefed me on this case this week, and they're very strong cases, and they're very solid for prosecution. I've assigned the case to Dobie Cossip, who's my most experienced criminal prosecutor. He'll handle all four of the prosecutions. He's already met with the land of Azos, and we'll be working with them as we move forward. We'll present it very quickly to the grand jury, where I firmly believe that all four cases will be indicted. So we will prosecute it and treat it as seriously as this case is. The other thing I wanted to say, in addition to the great work of the Wichita Falls Police Department, we hear about Crime Stoppers, and it's something I'm very passionate about. It really Crime Stoppers makes a tremendous difference in our community. I've worked on murder cases that Crime Stoppers have led to a break in the cases like this that have deep impact, property crimes. This is just such a great example of the impact that Crime Stoppers has in our community. So I really appreciate Wichita County Crime Stoppers, the board, and all the work that they do. And it's really a wonderful organization to support because it does make such a tangible impact here. So thank you all so much.
I wanted to tell you guys that we don't just consider the folks that we serve here as our city, but as our family. and we consider every case important. And something like this, as sensitive as it was, not just to the Landavazos, but to our city, our family here, on finding out what happened with this horse. I wanted to thank you, the media, for what you've done on getting the information out, sharing the details that we could share at the time. And it was something that was very important into getting our Crime Stopper tips that helped in making these arrests. And so thank you. And we want you to understand out there, the folks in Wichita Falls, that we love you, we care for what happens in your lives. And when something like this happens, we take it very seriously. We're going to investigate it to the best of our abilities and make sure justice is done. So for right now, unless you have any more questions for me, this will go ahead and conclude our press conference. I will keep you updated if we get more information. Arrests are made, of course. And that'll be all for today. Thank you again for coming out.